in Canada. I'll start with a few housekeeping notes before we move into the content of the presentation. So just a reminder to please keep your microphone muted unless we've gotten to the end in the question and answer or breakout room session. But we do encourage you, if you're comfortable with it, to have your video on. We love to see everyone in this virtual space. The main session will be recorded, and then that will stop before we move into the breakout rooms. Each campus who's on the call today will give a brief overview about their campus, and we'll also talk generally about exchanging in Canada and the different campuses that are part of NSE. After the formal presentation ends, we'll move into the breakout sessions, and we'll go to the next slide, please. So this session's all about Canada. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jane Crawley, and I'm the Manager of International Learning at Brock University in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. We can go to the next slide. Thank you. I'm joined by some colleagues from across the country today. We have Sarah, who's from the University of Montreal. Tara and Veronica are from the University of Calgary. And we also have, we have a wide representation across our vast country here on the call today. However, there is also a lot more, which I encourage you to look into as well, from coast to coast. The presentation today will highlight some Canadian campuses that you can do your study abroad or exchange with. I'll talk about, I'll briefly mention the 12 Canadian campuses, but we will be highlighting Brock University, University of Calgary, and University of Montreal. We'd love to hear from you as well, so please feel free to put in the chat where you're from. If you're interested already in attending an exchange in Canada, please feel free to share what you're interested in. As well, if you have any questions throughout the session, please feel free to put those in the chat at any time. Next slide, please. I also can introduce David, who's from NSE, the National Student Exchange. You'll commonly refer to, hear us calling it NSE for short. And David will just share some information now about NSE in general.
Thanks so much, Jane. Yes, I'm the Vice President of the National Student Exchange. I'm also the NSE Coordinator at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. And I think Minnesota is sort of an honorary member of Canada, so I'm very excited to be here today. So National Student Exchange, we've been around since 1968, offering study away opportunities for undergraduate students. Our exchange destinations, currently we have about 170 campuses available for exchange within the United States, including Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as our member campuses in Canada. We have about 2,000 students that participate in this program every year. We really hope that you'll join us. Typical exchanges are for a single semester or a full academic year. And NSE is a very accessible and affordable program. We'll be learning a lot more about specific campuses and their payment plan, tuition policies, and things like that. And I'll stick around in the main breakout room, or in this main room, if you have general questions about National Student Exchange. We do have a quick video here. Next slide, please. Just highlighting some of the unique opportunities through NSE. If you want to click play, Tara.
Okay, so with that, we'll get started with why choose a Canadian exchange. You are in the session because you must have some interest in what it's like to go to Canada, to do an exchange in Canada. So why choose Canada for your exchange? First, our education. It's great. The quality of Canada's post-secondary is recognized worldwide. You can set yourself apart by gaining a new international experience. If you're interested in coming for a single semester, you wouldn't need a study permit, i.e. a visa. We do have immigration teams who can answer any of those specific questions about immigration matters. So if you do have specific questions, feel free to reach out and we can point you in the right direction. Canada also has a lower age of majority than the US. So this varies from province to province, but in most provinces, the legal drinking age is 19, while in Alberta and Quebec, it's 18. You may want to immerse yourself in our multicultural communities or study at a French-speaking university. French-speaking NSC universities include University of Ottawa, which offers classes in both French and English, University of Montreal, University of Quebec in Montreal, and University of Sherbrooke. Next slide, please. So there are 12 Canadian campuses a part of NSE, which have a rich diversity of landscapes, culture, locations, from almost coast to coast. So starting in Alberta, we've got the University of Calgary and the University of Alberta. In Saskatchewan, we have the University of Regina. In Manitoba, we have Brandon University. Ontario, vast differences in the different campuses. In the north, we have Lakehead. Brock is in St. Catharines, close to the US border. University of Ottawa is close to the Quebec border. And then of course in Quebec, we have Université du Québec à Montréal, Université de Montréal, Bishops, and University de Sherbrooke. And then on the far east coast, Cape Breton University. So there's lots of different choices. If you're interested in the mountains, you might be interested in going out west to Alberta. If you want to be close to the border, Niagara Falls, Toronto, you may choose Brock. Ontario's north, you've got Lakehead, and our capital city, Ottawa. The beautiful East Coast, you might choose Cape Breton in Nova Scotia. And for the incredible culture and language of Quebec, there's 4 different universities to choose from, which do offer courses in French or English, sometimes both. So feel free to reach out to Sarah if you're interested in that, or the other campuses as well. Next slide, please. So now I'll talk about Brock, which is my university. So as I said, my name's Jane and I'm the manager of international learning at Brock. Brock's located in St. Catharines, Ontario, which is in the Niagara region. We have nearly 20,000 students in a community of approximately 140,000. We're located about 20 minutes from the US, close to Niagara Falls and Buffalo, New York. And we're within close proximity to Toronto Pearson Airport, Canada's largest airport, and the city of Toronto. In this photo, you can see our beautiful campus, which is a self-contained and walkable campus, about 10 minutes to downtown St. Catharines. So we have all the amenities of the city with the safety and security and feeling of a small town. Everywhere you need to be on campus is within about a 10-minute walk, and almost all the buildings are actually connected. So there's no need to be worried about the Canadian winters. You can actually spend most of your day inside without having to go outside, because the buildings either have bridges or are built right next to each other. So you can stay inside. Next slide, please. Brock is located on the Niagara Escarpment and is one of few universities within a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve. Our campus is surrounded by nature. As the previous photo showed, it's very beautiful and it's very common to see deer in the morning, for example, in the early hours. So it's really nice to be in that beautiful natural environment, but also be close within a large city. So it's a little bit of the best of both. We are ranked #1 in Canada for student mental health supports, which is something we're very proud of for the supports that we offer our students. We have over 130 undergraduate programs, including a degree in sport management. We have a diverse student body with an international student population from over 100 countries. And while most classes do take place on our main campus, we also have a beautiful downtown campus that houses our Marilyn I. Walker School of Fine and Performing Arts. So any courses that are in arts, such as music, fine arts, drama, those are located at our downtown campus. Next slide, please. Our campus, as I said, is in the Niagara region, which is Canada's largest wine region. As you can see, we're about a 10-minute drive to Niagara Falls. So there's lots of natural beauty, one of the wonders of the world, but all the features of being within a major metropolitan, not large, but proper Canadian city. NSC and exchange students can take between 1.5 and 2.5 credits, which is between 3 and 5 classes per term and translates into between 9 and 15 credit hours. And students pay home pay. So you pay your tuition through your regular process at your home university. You don't pay those fees directly to us unless you're staying on campus or you're paying a couple of the mandatory fees, which include a bus pass and health insurance. We welcome international students from all over the world, but we do not do exchanges within Canada. Many students do choose to live on campus in our residence for the convenience of living on campus within walking distance to all of your classes and all your activities. And we have 3 different styles, which is the traditional dorms, semi-suite, and townhouse. Next slide, please. We have very few limitations for exchange students and most courses are available. And we do see students take class across all of our faculties. A few notable programs of interest to some students are our Enology and Viticulture program, which is the science of wine and winemaking. So it's great to be in a large wine region and the university has an actual wine institute. So one of your courses might be sipping and tasting wine. We also have a sports management program, which is one of our flagship programs. Students move on to manage major sports teams or work in the sports industry in Canada and the US and all around the world. And we're very proud that a Brock University grad is the current manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the NHL. So lots of different opportunities in that program and opportunities for exchange students to take those classes. We also have vast opportunities for student life, 120 student clubs, athletic, cultural, there's something for everyone. We have 32 varsity sports teams, intramurals, and lots of other recreation and activities to enjoy on campus. Overall, we have a beautiful campus with a diverse environment, and there's really something for everyone. Next slide, please. So this is just a video that will show you a little bit about Brock. And if you're curious what everybody was doing when they were sliding on the ground looking like they're covered in grapes, that's our annual Grape Stomp. So part of the Grape and Wine Festival every September, students participate in this event, and you step on grapes, you slide all over them. It's really fun and something that is a bit unique to Brock. So with that, I'll just move to the next slide, please. And these are just how you can get in touch. There's our mobility website, as well as our email if you're interested in emailing and learning more with our in our exchanges office, and then just our different social media handles. We do feature content on our Brock International account, but of course we have our main account as well. Instagram is quite active. So with that, I will pass things over to Sarah to speak about UDEM.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Gu and I'm here to talk to you about Université de Montréal. So Université de Montréal is located in Montreal, which is in the province of Quebec, and we are in Eastern Canada. We are a very large campus. We have over 45,000 students on our campus, and more than 10% of our students are international students. Next slide, please. So NSC students can study at UDM through either home pay or host pay. Through HostPay, we do ask that students take at least 2 French language courses per term, and the students will be charged around 1,600 US per term. We're a comprehensive university. We offer programs in almost every field of study, and almost all of our courses are open to exchange students. One thing to watch out for, we are a French taught institution, so proof of French proficiency will be required. Next slide, please. Now, why should you come to UDM? Université Montréal has been ranked among the top 100 best universities in the world. We are actually located on the Mount Royal, but we're only a few minutes away from downtown Montreal. Our campus is very easily accessible through public transit. There really is something for everyone at Université Montréal. So here are a few examples. We have our own beehives on our rooftops, and we produce our own honey. And with that honey and with other plants that we grow on campus, we produce and sell our own beer. So other than food, there's a few clubs and groups for students to join, such as our Quidditch Club. Another reason to come to UDM is for the city. So we are located in the city of Montreal, which was voted one of the best student cities in the world. Montreal is very affordable, it's bilingual, so it's perfect for students who are not necessarily 100% comfortable with French. Although we are a very big metropolitan city, we're only a few minutes away from mountains and lakes and hiking trails. And in the wintertime, there is ski and snowboarding trails as well. Next slide, please. And I will end my presentation with a very short video of our campus.
First, it's something you see. Then it becomes something you feel. An awareness shared by people driving change. A symbol of unity, growth, ambition. An urge to put words into action. A movement that amplifies our voice. A space to find your path. An ally, a way of being. An icon for who we are, what we do, and where we want to be. An icon for the world.
That's it for me. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, these are all the different ways you can get in touch with us.
Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So my name is Veronica, and I'm here with my colleague Tara. We are Global Learning Advisors with the University of Calgary in Alberta. And we are so excited to introduce you to UCalgary. Next slide. So in case any of you are not familiar with the Canadian geography, Calgary is one of the major cities in the province of Alberta. Calgary is located between 2 rivers on the traditional territory of the Treaty 7 people. We'll talk a bit about our campus and the exchange important information. So almost every building on campus is connected by a network of tunnels, so you can get up in the morning and go to class without having to walk through the snow. The campus is also on the city transit line, so you can easily travel by train or bus using your student pass. We have a world-class fitness facilities, including our Olympic Oval, which is the fastest ice in the world. We have over 300 student clubs, so you can definitely get involved during your time here. We are also considered leaders in sustainability in Canada and have won awards for our green buildings and initiatives. So the NSC Exchange has a 2.75 GPA requirement on a home pay basis. Please check our course restrictions page on the QR code over there. We do have some limitations and closed faculties as well. So exchange students are required to take a minimum of 3 and maximum of 5 courses per term, but we do not recommend more than four courses due to the high workload. We want you to enjoy the other aspects of your exchange program, make friends, and visit places. We highly recommend applying by the priority deadline for course registration, which opens in April for the academic year. We also highly recommend an early housing application. So our on-campus housing has been pretty full post-pandemic. Next slide.
So, oops, there we are. So a little bit more about Calgary. We are the #1 most livable city in North America and #5 worldwide. So we are welcome you to our wonderful city. We have 1.4 million people living here, and it's Canada's most enterprising city. So we're very diverse and known for being a city of festivals. Throughout the year, there are festivals dedicated to all different cultures and arts. As you may have noticed with Rex, our mascot, in the bottom left picture, Alberta is prime fossil territory, and the world famous Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller is also an active research center where you can actually watch paleontologists at work. We're also very lucky to live in the middle of a unique environment with incredible landscapes and adventure opportunities such as hiking and skiing in the Rocky Mountains. We're only 1 hour away from the mountains, so other great day trips from Calgary include Banff, Lake Louise, and Lake Moraine. That's the one that you can see in the photo with Rex, our mascot. And any of the 5 major ski resorts within 2 hours of campus. And we're talking like leaving your door and being on the lift line in 2 hours. Another important one for our city is the Calgary Stampede, which is an annual rodeo exhibition and festival held every July. And the 10-day event, which bills itself as the greatest outdoor show on earth, attracts over 1 million visitors per year and features one of the world's largest rodeos, a parade, concert, First Nations exhibitions, and more. And Calgary's national and international identity is tied to this event. It's why we're known as the Stampede City, and we carry the informal nickname of Cowtown. And so there's definitely a big party atmosphere during Stampede. Office buildings and storefronts are painted in cowboy themes, and events across the city are held, including hundreds of pancake breakfasts and barbecues. And just to finish up, we also have a video for you. And then finally, here is our contact information for you to stay in touch. If you've got any questions, please contact at iexchange@ucalgary.ca. We've also got our incoming website and all of our our office's study abroad handles. So you can be getting content that is really specific to the international exchange experience. Thank you so much.
So with that, thank you for listening. We do have breakout sessions that we'll now move into. If you have general questions about NSE or need anything like that answered, you're welcome to stay in the main session. And then each university has a breakout session which you can join, and you can feel free to shuffle between them if you want to talk to the different ones. But I think with that, we will move into the breakout rooms. David, feel free to jump in.
Sounds great. The breakout rooms should be available there. And so you can just choose the breakout room you want to go to and move yourself.
Okay. I think we'll just stop the recording as well.
I'm not seeing the rooms, David.
We may have accidentally opened them as needing to assign people to them rather than a free